What's up, ninjas, and welcome to Yoga with Dojo Cat, and welcome to day 11 of my 12 days of yoga challenge. Congratulations, you've made it this far. You've only got today and tomorrow left. I'm so proud of you, and I really appreciate you doing this challenge with me. It's been a lot of work, but I'm glad to have done it and to have given you guys something to do before the busy holiday season really kicks in. So today's yoga flow is a balancing flow. We're going to be doing a lot more balanced poses than we usually do. So the key thing to remember whenever you're doing these balancing poses is to make sure you're squeezing that core, finding something to focus on. Let's just get into it, shall we? We are going to begin on our feet in our mountain pose here. So let's bring our feet about hip distance apart and really spread your weight evenly in your feet, really pressing in through the balls of your feet and the heels. Roll your shoulders up and down away from the ears at the top. And if you like, you can close your eyes with me. We're just going to take a second to arrive to our practice today. So taking one hand to the belly, one hand to the heart. And we'll just bring our mind to the breath. Just observe, following the air in through the nose and out through the mouth. Feel the process happen. Feel your feet on the mat. Let everything go. All that matters is this 20 minutes that we're taking for ourselves. Take a second to set an intention. Maybe you need to find balance not only in today's practice, but in the rest of your life. Maybe you're working too hard. Maybe you need to take some rest days from the gym. Balance is important so we don't burn out. And we'll seal that intention with 3 deep breaths. So all together, blink your eyes open, bring your hands down beside your hips. Inhale your hands to the sky. Exhale, release them to your hips. Inhale and exhale. One more time, inhale and exhale. All right, I'm going to turn towards the short part of my mat here, and we are going to begin with some forward folds to halfway lifts just to get our body warmed up. Inhale the hands to the sky. Exhale, swan dive down, hinging at the hips, meeting in a forward fold. Pausing here for a breath. Taking whatever movement you need. Maybe you need to pedal out 1 foot at a time. My hammies are really tight today. Whew, and my calf on my bad leg. Nod your head, yes. Shake it, no. Just nice, slow, gentle movements. And come back to stillness. Inhale, halfway lift, flat back, gaze forward. Exhale, fold. Maybe this time you want to tuck your hands into your elbows. Just relax the neck. Let your top half be heavy. If you need a little micro bend in your knees to protect the joint, feel free to add that in. And release your arms, slowly rolling up, nice and slow. Rolling the shoulders up and down at the top, inhaling the hands to the sky. I'm just going to turn so you can see. Grabbing onto the left wrist with the right hand. And as you exhale, pulling yourself over to the right. Inhale, center, switch your grip. Exhale, left. Inhale, center, switch your grip. Exhale, right. Inhale, switch. Exhale, left. We're going to do that one more time each side. Inhale, center, switch. Exhale, right. Inhale, center, switch. Exhale, left. And release, come back to center. Bring your hands down beside your hips. Bring your legs a little wider than your hips. And we're just going to sway. Let your arms make nice big circles. I know every time I make people do this in class, they giggle because you feel a little bit silly, but spinal rotations are really good for the spine. Plus it just feels good. And then slowly drawing smaller and smaller circles until you finally come back to stillness. Then I'm just going to turn back to the short part of my mat. Inhale the hands to the sky. Exhale, swan dive down, coming into the forward fold, and then crawling out into downward facing dog. Pedal out the legs, relax the neck. Really spread the fingers nice and wide and distribute the weight evenly in your hands. And maybe you just want to find a moment of stillness here. And one more deep fortifying breath before we get into this flow. And exhale. Inhale the right leg to the sky. Exhale, step that right foot in between your hands and rise up for a lunge. Woo. So the toes on your right foot are on the same, facing the same direction on your left foot. Pull the shoulders down away from the ears. Nice bend in that front leg, making sure that that knee is not caving in. You're pressing it outwards. And from here, we're gonna go right into our first balancing pose. So putting our weight into that right foot, we're gonna press up into tree pose. So there's a couple of options here for you. You can use your left toes as a kickstand. Just turn here so you can see. To help with your balance, you can put that foot right on the calf, or you can reach down and pull that foot above the knee, as long as it's not on your knee, just protecting that joint. So wherever you're comfortable. And then with your hands, you can keep them at heart center, or you can expand them to the sky, really reaching. And the higher you get to the top, the more challenging the pose. And if it's not challenging enough, feel free to close your eyes. And if you fall out, that's okay. Just come back to the pose when you're ready. Beautiful. Bring your arms down to your heart again. Release that left foot and turn the knee forwards. And right from here, we're going to go into warrior three. So tipping forward to bring our torso and that left leg parallel to the mat. Maybe extending those arms out in front of you to help with balance. Really squeeze that core. Find something to focus on. Really reach your fingers away from the left toes. Forgot to mention too, I have blocks here. I don't know if I'm going to use them yet, but I like to have them available just in case. So if you want to use blocks for any point here in this flow, you're welcome to do that. All right, we're going to transition into one more balancing pose from here, reaching down with our right fingers to bring them in front, almost like under the shoulder. Turn the hips so that the hips are stacked and they're facing the wide part of your mat. Oh, I'm going to fall out. There we go. And then option to keep your hand on your hip or stack the shoulders as well by extending the left arm to the sky for our half moon pose. My leg is starting to burn. Holding for 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, release, bring your toes together, meeting in forward fold. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, fold. Inhale, rolling all the way up, inhaling the hands to the sky. And then from here, let's take a quick break. Take a second, let's bring our hips, or our feet a little wider than our hips, and we're gonna sway side to side again. My leg is burning. All right, okay. Draw smaller and smaller circles till you finally come back to the front of your mat. Bring your feet about hip distance apart. Inhale the hands to the sky. Exhale, sink into your chair pose. Weight should be in your heels. Tuck that tailbone underneath, so if you feel like your bum is really sticking out, I give you permission to look at my butt right now. I just want you to think about tucking your tailbone forward. So it makes the pose a little bit more challenged, and it really forces you to like zip up your abdomen. All right, you know we have to add a little balance pose into this. So we're going to lift onto our tiptoes and sink a little deeper. Option as well to bring your hands together, interlocking the fingers, making a little steeple with your fingers, or a little gun, a little Charlie's Angel gun. And holding for 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Bring the heels back to the mat. Release your hands down to the hips and fold forward. Whew. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, fold. Plant the hands, step back into downward facing dog. Oh, okay. We've only got one more side to do. Oh. I did some of these videos with my mom while I was visiting her, because she's doing my challenge. Of course she is. Hi, Mom. And some of the videos are a lot harder than I remember them being, so I want to both apologize for that, but also if you made it through those, amazing work. All right, we'll take that to the other side. Inhale the left leg to the sky. Exhale, step your left foot in between your hands and rise up for a crescent lunge on your left side. Bend that front leg. Create a nice long line with your spine. Pull the shoulders down. All right, before we get into our balance poses here, just remember that your balance is going to be different on your dominant side as compared to your non-dominant side. It's just the way that we're built. Some people are lucky and it's equal, or sometimes better. I don't know. It's not the case for me. But if that's the case, don't feel bad if you're a little bit more shaky. If you fall out a little bit more on this side, it's okay. We're just working on getting better a little bit every time we practice, right? So from here, weight pressing into that left foot. Nice big step forward to come into your tree pose, wherever it may be. Toes on the floor, foot on the calf. No, I can't reach. Or reaching down to pick up the leg to put the foot above the knee. And if you need to make a different adjustment from your last side, that's okay. I can't pull that leg up as high because of my knee injury, so I'm gonna respect that. So, bringing the hands together at the top. Maybe shaking a little bit, making sure we're engaging that core. Squeeze those glutes. All right, from here we're gonna go into that warrior 3. So release your foot from wherever it is, bring the knee forward, release your hands, and gently tip forward, extending the leg, ooh, and the arms parallel for warrior 3. Whew, okay, one more transition to our half moon pose. Bringing the left fingertips to the mat under the shoulder. Oh my God, I'm shaking. I gotta take a little break. My leg always burns so much on this side, and my foot. Bringing the hands to the mat under the shoulder, turning the hips open to the wide part of your mat, keeping the right hand on that hip, or extending it out overhead to stack the shoulders. Holding for 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Release the pose, coming back into forward fold. Take whatever movement you need. Maybe pedaling out the legs. Nice work, you guys. We're gonna roll slowly up into our mountain pose, inhaling the hands to the sky and sitting back into our chair pose. Tuck that tailbone underneath, maybe sink a little bit lower this time. And then we're gonna lift up onto our tiptoes. And try to drop our bums a little bit more. You're shaking, I'm shaking, we're shaking together. Holding for 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Release, extend the arms, bring the heels to the mat. The legs. Bring the hands down to the hips. And then lower, hinge at the hips into that forward fold. Beautiful work, you guys. And then from here, we're gonna bend the knees and bring our bums all the way to the mat so we can go into our cool down. Coming into a seated position, spreading the weight evenly in our glutes and pressing the heels into the mat, flexing the feet. Bring your hands down beside your hips here and think about pulling your spine nice and tall, almost as if you have a string at the top of your head and someone's pulling it taut. Nice deep breath in here in our staff pose. Nice deep breath out. And on your next exhale, we're gonna hinge forward at the hips, coming into a seated forward fold. Now, I know a lot of people struggle with their flexibility. That's okay. If you can only reach your shins or maybe like hook onto your toes, that's okay. But another option for you is to bend the knees. Bend them and hold on to your foot. And then little by little over time, you can work at straightening your legs a little bit more, a little bit more, a little bit more, until finally you come into this straight-legged position. And then there's always something to work on, right? Ideally, my nose would be touching my knees right now. I'm just not that flexible. People are always like, oh, you're a yoga teacher. You must be so flexible. And I'm like, no. I really have to work for my flexibility. Beautiful. Release that fold. Bring the heels up to bend the knees. Extend the arms out in front of you and roll to your back nice and slow. One vertebrae at a time until finally you bring your head to the mat. Pull the knees up to the chest. Give yourself a nice big hug to congratulate yourself for not only making it through day 11 of this challenge, but just taking some time for you. Sometimes it's really hard during the holiday season. Beautiful. Bring the arms into cactus, or if you like, you can extend them out to a T. I just like cactus because it opens the shoulders a little bit more. And then drop your knees over to the left. Take your gaze over the right shoulder. If your knees don't quite hit the floor, or if your shoulder is pulling up, that right shoulder, just stack some blocks or pillows underneath the knees. One more deep breath here before coming back to center. Nice inhale and exhale. Bring your knees over to the right. Gaze over the left shoulder. all together. One more deep breath in. Nice long breath out. And we'll come back to center. Take one more big stretch, extending the arms away from the legs, really reaching, finding length in the spine. Before releasing and coming up into a comfortable seat. Thank you so much for joining me on day 11 in our balancing flow. I really appreciate you being here. If you like this video, please like and subscribe. I would love to have you in my little dojo. Please let me know in the comment box below what your favorite day has been so far. Tomorrow, our last day, we've worked really hard. Tomorrow is going to be a stress melting stretch, so we're not going to be holding tree pose forever. All right, if you like longer videos, you can subscribe to my Patreon. I post 45-minute to hour-long videos there. If you're in the Saskatoon area and you want to do a live class with me, that information is in the description box below. You can also find me on social media at DojoCat713 on Instagram and TikTok. All right, go hydrate. Really important this time of year. There's a lot of eggnog going around. There's a lot of wine drinking. So make sure you're drinking water as well. And be kind to yourself, be kind to others, and I will see you tomorrow for day 12, our final day of this challenge. Os.